commenters say, I guess all these Tsujis and these problems, they're not as much fun as Nick's stuff, but I guess they're all fun. This is why there's fewer people who are at 1 cube than there are who are 20 cubes. Anyway.
Fun?
Fun? You think this is a game? That's right. All right. No. All right. Hey, Ben, there's a page for you here.
I got it. Thanks.
You got it? Great. All right. So real quick, it's Wednesday. Thanks for coming again, guys. How many folks played games in the past week?
Winning streak.
And reviewed them looking for their mistakes? And reviewed them looking for their opponent's mistakes? This is getting smaller. Oh. All right. Do we have some better turnout for the Finding Stronger Players games that had moves that surprise you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Killing me small. All right. All right. I want to do a quick talk about 4 quick fuseki ideas and Joseki ideas. So we've all sort of we start understanding about Josekis being exchanges, and we get the idea that they're locally balanced. But sometimes they're only locally balanced in the context of the larger fuseki, and it's important to understand how the fuseki changes what Joseki sequence exists. So everybody here's probably heard of the Chinese opening. How many folks have heard of the Kobayashi opening? More nods. How many people know why we don't see the Kobayashi so much anymore? Yeah? Okay, good. I'm going to tell a story about what I heard for why we don't see the Kobayashi as much anymore. And you guys can... This is just a story. Just a story. We don't know if that's actually the truth or not.
The internet will tell you.
What was that?
The internet will tell you.
That's right, the internet will tell me whenever I fuck anything up. It's great. So this is the original idea on the Kobayashi formation, right? And, well, before I get into this, I should start with the Chinese. I should say that the Chinese formation, who knows what the goal of the Chinese formation is? What is it? What is it? Tell me.
To invade.
To what?
To invade so that you can attack him.
Kind of. What else? No. Kind of. What else?
To kind of create sort of a moyo on the bottom.
Right, to build a moyo on the bottom. That's generally what the Chinese was all about. And the problem with building the moyo on the bottom is that they get their stone here, right? So we're going to talk a bit about the Chinese evolution, but just for starters, observe that if white is like, oh, you're going to play the Chinese, huh? Well, now make a moyo on the bottom. By playing this stone, he's made the whole bottom uninteresting. And so now black's strategy is a little less interesting. So the idea behind the mini Chinese here is if the Chinese opening here, where it was on the 3-4 and over here was to build a moyo here, then conversely, the idea here is to build a moyo on the side where we already have something, right? This kind of makes sense, right? So there's a bunch of different Joseki that begin with, white splitting the side here, and then a number of different patterns that showed up after this. They experiment with this shoulder hit, this shoulder hit, and this shoulder hit. And one of the stronger patterns for white is this strange sort of thing that can happen where white can push through and cut, right? And this stone is a little farther away in this sequence. A lot of these things, if you're curious about them, you should do more research. These are just the stories I know. You may have to find your own. And that's why the micro-Chinese comes into play. Is the idea is that this is closer for this fight. You remember we looked at the Li Chang-ho game a few weeks back, where it's the mini Chinese here, and he begins by playing the shoulder hit against this one directly, right? And after this, what was it this way? I forget. To the high, standing, right? I think I've messed up the order, but I think that after this and this, right? And after white squares everything up here, normally we'd say this is not a good result for white, but in the case of what black was trying to do, maybe this is okay. He's got a stable group, and so when he comes in here, now we're sort of like, all right, that's fine. We're gonna have nothing to worry about, so that if this lives, black's territory is too small. That's sort of that theory. And anyway, they did a lot of these other experiments with like what the idea of that Chinese is. So seen in that light of how we want to use this idea to build the moyo over here, as a result, that sort of explains how the Kobayashi idea is happening, right? So this is your traditional formation, and the classic pattern that it's working on is this one, right? After I key here, I can, this stone is correctly placed, right? And I continue key things, right? Yes?
So when I was looking at the Kobayashi,
Yes.
I thought that the standard approach was the 2-space instead of the 1-space.
Yes, the distant approach, right?
Right.
Which is, and this is why that distant approach has become so popular, is because it works well with, it prevents black from having this situation that works out. Incidentally, if you're thinking about why white doesn't do this one, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to switch this whole board around so that we can look at it, so that I'm not reaching down here. How about that? Can we do that? Will we be able to deal? Will that be okay? Let's see if I can do that. There we go.
Whoa.
Let's turn this
Should be a button
around.
for that.
I feel
Upside
nauseous.
It's a roller coaster here, guys. It's wild, I tell you.
Hey, that's looking familiar.
Wild.
Look, he did it.
God, that was really hard. It still looks kind of sideways.
It looks upside down.
Because I haven't rotated it, just like,
Ah,
it hurts my head. All right, tell you what.
stand on the other side of the board.
I'm going to do it this way. That's right, we're going to stand on the other side of the board. That's exactly what we're going to do. Now that I've disoriented everybody, we could talk a bit about why. So you might think, so black has this one and this one, these severe pinchers, with the idea that white's best place to do this. This is a great little bit of Joseki trivia.
Okay.
Joseki trivia.
The ladder
I'm
brings.
so sorry. You know that this stone makes a ladder in the complicated version of this Joseki? So the idea here was, whoops, let's push here first. Oh, the idea here was that this is a little bit, wishy-washy, that white, if he can, really wants to get these this extra hane in the corner, and that this extra couple points, if white can get it, he'll be happy with. Of course, then when black cuts, it's a very complicated sequence where white can hold on to the corner, but only just barely, right? Everybody, has people seen this before? Nobody's seen this before?
We've done it before too.
Okay, fun fact, this is a trick play, look it up, it's fun. Don't get tricked on it. But this is almost pretty much a one-way street. Through here, the status of this race in the corner is that white will kill these stones by one move. These stones, just these stones, by one move. But black has the ability to make ladder breakers down here. If he doesn't already have a stone here. If he has a stone here, white's toast. As will become apparent. So, without a stone here, oops, this doesn't quite work. Black can play, white plays this one here to break out of the net. This ladder will not work because this stone is a ladder breaker. Everybody see that? All those net and ladder visualizations that we do is for shit like this. Did you see that this ladder will be broken by this stone? Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so now that I've told you that, you know that this stone makes this net work. Right? And since this stone makes this net work, these die, and the game is over. Right? So back at the very original, where we've got the 2-space high pincher, and white plays the big knight's move, and starts this whole mess, that's why white doesn't play the big knight's move, to start this whole mess. Because he can't do this anymore, he's forced to do that more conservative J shape, right? So we don't have all this. This is nuts, right? This is just, I want to, so that everybody, so that we're all on the same page. Oh man!
Yeah. Curtains.
Curtains. Gently wafting curtain. Now, does it still work here, if the stone is here?
Just barely not.
Just barely not. Hold that fact in mind. We're going to come back to it. Okay. Whoa. So, okay. Wow. I hate doing this really. Okay, so who's going to look up the trick Joseki, the trick play? Who remembers the trick play that I showed you at the beginning? Don't everybody stand up at once. See, that's there. That's the original picture. Who does it? Who? Anybody volunteer to research this trick play for me? Anybody? Anybody? Yeah, you'll do it? Okay, good. Good. You're a brave man, Charlie Brown. What is that? And there needs to be white stone here, too. Do you know which one I'm talking about? Black has to play here now. This is all pretty much a one-way street. And white has to play here, so that when white plays here, black is induced to play there. Everything holds together on the outside just barely. Black gets allowed to break it down.
I'm not sure if play was white on is underneath instead.
That's right. That's the white on it. Okay? Okay. Cool. All right. So back to the Kobayashi, which means that white has to play here. Has to play here. Which means that since this is just a little bit less, we don't really like it. So after all of that having in mind, we come to black, white, not making this original approach move, but making the distant approach move here, right? After which a bunch of Joseki are worked on that start here. This is consistent with the idea of developing the top. And again, one of the problems is that white needs to keep this manageable. There's always going to be an invasion point here. He just needs to keep this of a manageable size, right? So, bunch of different options here. One of the more severe ones that they were looking at was this one. So there's a couple different, if you've got more attacking strength, you want to do this. It sweeps the base a little bit more. But this is one of the more interesting ones that we want to talk about. Did I just give black two
Black
plays?
played two moves in a
I
row.
just gave black two plays. That's right. So here, normally this is kind of a bad idea. But, so first of all, here's one of the other interesting ideas of this evolution of Joseki. First of all, generally the play is here, which or here. But we see black trying to get this one in first, right? Now if I do this, so let me show the original pattern. The original pattern is I'll play here, right? And then, let me see. I'll play here. White plays here. I'll play here. White comes out here, something like this, right? If I'm trying to get this in first, right? Now if white connects and I play here and white jumps out, this is, having gotten this exchange in makes it a little trickier for white to settle. The other thing that white can try is white can try this one. The idea being that when I hane and I descend, if I haven't made this exchange, right? If I haven't made that exchange, when black hanes now and white cuts, it's tricky for black to figure out what to do here. Does that make sense? But if we've made this exchange, this descent, there's one liberty less here. What was that? I didn't just put up 2
That's pretty easy.
Sorry. Yes, I did put up 2 But, right, after this exchange, not this exchange, this is a great exchange for black. Called the hey, look over there. After this exchange, the ability to descend, you know, maybe white can do this, but maybe, you know, either way, this is something that's probably going to turn out better for black as a result. So, before that all happens, right here, white's like, all right, well maybe I'm not going to go. Maybe I'm going to do this. So black, of course, cuts. White plays here. Black plays here. Now locally, this is probably better for black. But directionally, my whole plan of building something here is gone. Right? So the idea of we've traded, the influence here is probably better than territory, but there's more than just influence and territory when considering these Joseki trades. There's influence, territory, sente, and direction, right? Have I talked about this before? So when you're deciding what Joseki to pick between, you're not just deciding whether you want influence or territory. You're not just deciding, oh, I'm really playing a big Moyo game. You are caring also about who ends up with sente and who gets the direction, right? Good?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a classic example of this. And your trades may differ. Like if something is more valuable, you may end up choosing a Joseki that's slightly better because the direction here is to your choice. Have I talked about this before? Does this ring any bells? How about this one? How about we'll do a little brief excerpt, an interlude. 3-3-point invasion. Everybody's learned it, right? Nobody's surprised. So, everybody's learned that black has the choice behind it, with the expectation that white will play here. Oh. I mean, this is like, I don't know, the second Joseki everybody learns? It's like one of the first, right? So black got a wall facing this way and he got his corner territory. White got a panuki and white got sente, right? But maybe black plays this because having a panuki over here isn't the best place for it, right? Maybe the panuki here is facing a really low position. Maybe it's facing strength so much that it's not actually a strong panuki at all. Maybe it's just, maybe this is the interesting side, right? In which case, white doesn't want to just go along because it's the only Joseki they know. White wants to do something else. So white will hane on the top. And after black plays here, there's this cool move, which is this one. How many people know this Joseki? How many people think they could find the right answer?
I always get tricked in this position.
Always get tricked in this position. So what this is doing is, this is white offering a different bargain, right? Black can connect. White can take this stone. How many people saw black just connecting? Yeah. Makes a nice little neon. If white connects here, black can take the stone. White connects here. This is L+2. But unlike the other L+2 group in the 3-3-point invasion, this corner's like this one is already blocked in, right? It's smaller, right? So in this case, black in the other one where black double hane is, black got the corner territory. In this case, white says no. I really want the corner territory. I'm going to keep it, right? Because I don't want a panuki on this side and giving you all the points for whatever reason, right? So he has this other option. But as a result, black's wall is slightly stronger than when he doesn't double hane when he does this one, right? Wow, those are really similar positions. I only have to take off 2 stones to make that different. So by throwing in this little exchange, black's territory is a little bit better. Plus there's ladder issues. I don't know. The other choice is that white can play here now, and black can. This is also Joseki. How can those two results be Joseki? Black's corner is bigger. White has the same panuki and the same sente, but black's corner is bigger. Why are they both Joseki? And the answer is who had the choice in direction, right? Does that make sense? So, yeah, of course black's territory is bigger, but he played this original hane maybe because he wanted one of the other Joseki, and he ended up getting the wrong direction, so as compensation he got a bigger corner. Right? And if you don't know any of these things, if you just only know that when he double hanes, I have to cut here, like if this is the extent of your Joseki knowledge, then those are the choices. You're like, okay, I guess I get a panuki on this side, I guess, sure. Right? So, brief little interlude. So the Kobayashi. So we had that little interesting example. Ooh, you know what? I hate these stones that have no magnets. I'm gonna have a stroke. I'm gonna have a stroke these days. I'm just gonna just gonna rage quit. All right, so where are we? We're here. There's another interesting Joseki, which was developed in response to this pincher, which was when white pushes up. When white pushes up like this. So first of all, the first observation is that this here is deemed to be manageable enough for white. This is manageable enough. Like, this is okay-ish. Like, okay, black got some points, whatever. This is still floating, whatever. This doesn't look like any sort of Joseki that we would consider as an even result. But in the context of this weakness is still here, there's still a weakness here, you know, this isn't urgent enough. People would maybe still decide things. Maybe if we really need to settle, we can come down here immediately. So another option that was developed was this one. This one here. How many people know the Joseki after this? It's a little nuts. It's a little nuts. Okay. But not really. Let's see. Here. 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 Oh, here. No, here. Sorry. Right? Here. Here. This is a real Joseki, I swear to God. Here, here. I swear to God, this is Joseki. White comes back to here. And when I say is Joseki, I mean was seen a lot in the 80s in the context of the Kobayashi formation. Corner, little cutting point, got a panu. Unfortunately, this is a little bit close. I don't really like having this stone here. I'd rather it were here. Right? So white's totally happy choosing this Joseki when this is here. Because the extra aji here, and the fact that this is a little over-concentrated, changes how this result gets evaluated. Does that make sense? Okay, so this is the first fuseki idea, is that the Kobayashi, you don't see this Joseki you don't see this Joseki chosen when they made this Kobayashi formation. It's only when they made this like modified mini Kobayashi. I don't even know what qualifies as a mini formation. Anyway, the idea here is that in this case, oops, now I would be totally happy to play that Joseki out after this, right? Now I wouldn't be. However, if this is here, remember we talked about how the original idea of this is that, you know, jump, 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 keep. When this is here, this connection here is harder for white to break. Well, if you just move this farther away, now it isn't so hard for white to break it. So now if you owe another move on this side, and white gets to be the first person to come back to this, to pincher, now it's maybe okay. Because when this is here, well, okay, white just connected, now black gets to do something. Maybe he approaches, maybe he just settles his pincher stone. But like, the idea is black got to play on both sides. This connection just barely holds together. When it's here, it doesn't. So I don't want to just say, oh, well, when they play here, I should come in high, and when they play here, I should come in low and far away. Although you could just do that. I mean, I don't know, it would work out. It sort of follows the general thinking of it. And the idea, the fact that white has reasonable lines in both of those cases is one of the reasons why you don't see the Kobayashi so much anymore. My understanding. Sound good? Okay. I think that's what I had to talk about. when you're thinking about Joseki, think about that idea of direction and who gets to choose it as part of the interesting parts of the Joseki. What's up? What's the question?
With the one space to the right, Kobayashi,
Yeah.
doesn't that also negate the ladder thing from the left?
Oh yeah, yeah. So that whole long ladder sequence. With this here, that ladder doesn't work, so white can make this and get that extra action. He can make that descent, get that extra 2 points. So tell you what, when you make no 2-point mistakes in your endgame, you too can be concerned about the finer points. No, but seriously, I think that it is the right attitude, even if you are going to end up giving up those 2 points in Yosei. It's still the right attitude. Although there's a lot to be said for choosing simpler Joseki. If you want to beat robots, God, they are so bad once they're out of book. Like, they get better the more stones are on the board. So if you can beat them in the opening, it's really easy. And a Joseki like this, don't play robots, it's bad for you. But a Joseki like this, where this is the whole Joseki, like now, okay, you play anywhere. Joseki's over, the robot doesn't know what to do. It's great, you should do that. But you shouldn't play robots. Yeah.
What's the reason why playing robots is so bad? Do you start like turning into, like your strategy becomes tailored to the specific robot?
Yeah, well, not the specific robot so much as just that you expect them to be really erratic. Like, you play for mistakes. They're also really unforgiving when you're fighting in their area of influence. They tend to be very good at reading the weird sequences that use the stones that are already in weird places. So, I don't know. It's just, and then once you're ahead, they like go on tilt, and like regular humans won't do that. So, it's just bad for some reason. Don't play robots, kids. Friends don't let friends play robots. So yeah, so when we're thinking about Joseki and we're thinking about this idea of direction, you know, here's the first move that emphasizes the side. What's up?
That bottom corner should be black.
Bottom left.
Yeah.
Was it giving you a little...
Well, if we're going to talk about direction more and do anything else, it seems like it might be important.
Tell you what, I don't want to have anything else on this.
All right, even better.
So here, this is really, you know, a choice where most of the Joseki here emphasize these things, right? When white plays here, first of all, he has to have a ladder, because he has to. There's a terrible, terrible Joseki that happens if he doesn't have a ladder, which we'll go into later. But for starters, you know, a lot of in like 38 basic Joseki, you'll see this sequence, which is just weird. I have a lot of trouble remembering it because it's so weird. I think you block on this side, right here. Have anybody seen this?
Not for a
Right,
while,
and
but
then
it's
we go here, and then white jumps out here. And it's really weird because after my original attachment, I totally changed my mind about what I wanted to do. Right? Like, now I've got a wall facing this way.
Right.
Then why did I attach? I don't know. Maybe there's a position where this is like the right distance away, whereas a picture stone. I don't know. I don't know. It's just hard for me to remember because it changes direction so dramatically from what the original intent of that first attachment is. Maybe, you know, I would love to hear a good reason why you'd want to change from one to the other there. Let's see, what was the other Joseki I want to show? Oh, so instead, you know, this attachment here by white, if white has the ladder, then black has to do something. Ooh. So that's two fuseki ideas. The other two were the Chinese, and how the idea of the Chinese changing from the original Chinese to the mini Chinese because of what we were trying to develop. Okay? So far, so good? So there's at least a couple of ways in which, when you're looking at Joseki, it becomes really important to consider how some of them are developing this fuseki-specific context. Another one that we see a lot in the context of the regular Chinese is where white invades immediately. Right? Is that familiar? white just to use it. Just, we're like, okay, we don't really care about this. Maybe we'll do this first. This is a pattern that I've seen a lot lately. Where you're like, how is this Joseki? This corner lives or dies on the next move. And then they won't take care of it for another 40 moves, 50 moves. Until such point as it becomes, like it's like having a known quantity. Anybody hear about, what is it called? Game Theory Go, where they had these two pro players, and they had a stack of chips, and that were worth decreasing amounts. So the first one was worth like 20 points, the next one was worth 19 and a half, and then it was worth 19 points, and then 19 and a half. And so you had to take these alternate chits. You could take them at any point instead of playing a move. So you have this idea where someone's like, I don't see anything bigger than... Apparently they both just took chits until it was about like 8 or 9 points.
Well, of
and then
course,
somebody played.
because Komi is 6.5, right?
Right, exactly. So that was the idea, was that you were first getting an assessment on what they thought Komi was, which was funny. And so as a result, like you have this idea, it's like, this is kind of like one of those things where whoever has sente at some point can come and take this known value off. But there's still, a lot of Aji questions here and all that other stuff. I don't know. Somebody should explain it to me sometime. That's what I had to talk about. Any other homework questions that we want to do? Did we get them all? Oh, I want to do number 2 if someone would, on the connect by capturing one, because a couple folks didn't get it. No, not that one. And other than that, I guess we're gonna break into pairs, and the folks who did the finding a game of a strong player, I want you to talk it over with someone else who did it. If you didn't do it, you get to watch. All right, so here we are. So here's the problem. Here's the problem. What is the answer? So first, the wrong answer. So when we do this, we think that if this happens, aha, this will work really well. Black will be kind of in trouble. But black is going to play here and get a ko, where he doesn't need to get a ko. Which is first fun observation.
2-1 point.
This 2-1 point? Or do
Just
you mean
2
like,
1 points in general.
darn it, right, yeah.
Oh, did we just descend?
Just descend. This is so patient. It's such a great move. The observation is that after this, there is literally no way for black to connect all this.
Chance of attacking the white.
Does that make sense?
Black goes here, and white ignores
So the armpit hit.
Yeah.
I saw this one the other day. This is kind of related. It's
White.
right here.
And if you think black's gonna play here, right?
Black plays here, and so white blocks. And we're like, why is that? Maybe the colors are reversed. White plays here, and black blocks. That's it. And people are trying to understand why this is a bad move by white.
Okay.
Right? Why does white go to here? And the answer is that this.
And black says.
Just strengthens black?
What was that?
Sacrifice bigger.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Just-
so
it doesn't get much for you, right?
It's
Let's-
just strong.
right. This guy is in the wrong spot, right? So black comes over here, and then white does something else, right?
White takes him off. Black gets. Black gets-
This is just fundamentally not a good shape. Because if it were this way,
Don't understand
right?
why black.
and black plays here, you're going to want to play here. Because black now can't play here because you'll hane.
I believe.
But instead it's like black played here, you played here, and now black got this one, right?
Is white opponent who was also.
Either way, when it's like this, black's turn or white's turn, that's who it's better for. That's why this is so important. Black does this, white does this, like without thinking. You do the hane, you double hane, you call it a day, like period, end of story. Which is a reason why this is such a bad shape. It also has a lot of nasty aji left over, right? So where we were at instead was, so it's kind of interesting that this kick is, you can kind of think of it, it kind of gives you not an optimum shape. In this case, you're keeping,
This isn't the important area.
you're making the black stones heavy, so it's a little bit better. But then this one is just like,
Move down here, facing this.
with that as the preamble, I guess we understand why this is not
Oh,
good,
yeah,
right?
no, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Didn't really
So holding yourself to this.
Unless you want the space down.
If you really, really have to have
really have
it.
to.
Because then that's the thing, it's like, if white is gonna do this now, maybe it's important, but white isn't in such a hurry usually to take the base away. Which means now you can follow up to here, right?
Now you're looking pretty good.
Whereas when you do this, you just basically help white to block off the side, it's just a bad scene. Don't play the armpit hit when you're trying to make a base.
Okay.
I think there's like a couple of cases where pros play it, and it's like, frustrating. Why do I explain why it's different when they do it?
And this is, this move, if this wasn't here, is this generally not? This is one I couldn't really figure out in the line in the Joseki dictionary.
Okay, so if we kick here like this, and we play here, you're giving black this optimum extension. Does that make sense?
Okay.
The reason why you do this kick is when you've already got strength over here, right? So black plays here, we kick, black stands up, play here. Now we've made these stones, they're harder for black to give up. If we just did this, maybe black's gonna jump in the corner and give it up, maybe he's
So
gonna
with the
slide.
stone here, this is reasonable to block.
Yeah. Right, because again, this is in that position that's exactly where...
That's right. They did it in the opposite order.
Right.
He already had this one, then he played this one.
Right, if this is
But
already
if
here.
you've already got this one, then you can
Then
just
you can
add
play
that
this
one
one,
to prevent your bad shape from
Right.
becoming a
And it's a little
liability.
better if this is here because it helps attack better. This helps you attack more, Something like this is still a little thin, whereas if you're like this, it's not as thin.
And where would black come in if you were over here and you didn't play over here? No, if these were here.
Oh,
You
like
play here and say you played here instead of over here.
black can usually just attach,
Then it gets...
right?
Gotta be careful with this though, because you can get...
Is that still vulnerable?
It is still vulnerable. So as a result, this is not as good. I might even just keep doing
What
it.
happens if
You have
black
to.
comes in here?
So as soon
able to kill it?
white jumps ahead, maybe I pinch her here. What happens here? What happens? Anything can happen. There's lots of options. I don't know, but it's
is that-
definitely a problem.
If that's a problem,
It's a problem.
And now you want to go.
you just connect.
This is the auspice mode.
I can hide either.
Connect.
If you really want to have no problems, I guess you can do this. But it's so submissive. You end in gote,
And
and
there's
you've lost
still...
all of those points that you set out to
Is there
take.
still this even?
Oh yeah. Maybe if I want, I can do this. So bad. Yikes.
You basically gave up all your points.
Yeah, don't do it unless you already have it. So. Here, all right.
A little lumpy shape.
Okay.
Kick again.
Kicks again.
That was the first development that was just... it looks kind of okay, but it still surprised me.
It's patient, I guess.
Yeah, patience surprises me.
Patient.
Okay, might get sente to go up to the top.
Top right.
I'm gonna have to 20, 21, 22, 23, so I'm looking for 24, yeah.
Hi.
No, it's low.
Takes the code
And it's a one-space pincer.
here.
Oh,
And they do the normal boring thing.
yeah. That's interesting. Normal boring thing, huh?
I mean, it didn't seem like that weird, but I was a little surprised
Yeah, I wouldn't
at
pinch it.
the tight
That's a little
pincer.
surprising.
So does this give white sente?
You tell me. Do you know? Right now?
No, black.
Because you can visualize this all when you're picking the pincher.
I think it was
Right?
like this.
I mean, you can also remember it once you've done it once. But
That's cheating.
that's right. So does it give white sente?
So black connects like this, and it's going to be white glass
Yes.
and code.
Oh, is that cow?
You got a 50-50 chance.
It's kind of black's
No, I'm pretty sure it
prerogative.
is. I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, but I haven't read it all the way through.
You'll remember when we get there.
Next, white, black, Atari. It becomes a one interesting
White
thing I
jumps?
was thinking about doing.
Oh, and
was
now black
going
has some-
Black's choice.
to black.
Right. Black chooses here or
Yeah.
here or
Yeah.
here.
Say, all right, white, I'll let you.
Usually he makes another move related to this formation, but he doesn't have to.
So this went just two.
Yeah, that's fine.
And this is where another interesting thing happened.
That's really strange. I think that black had a, okay.
That's
Yeah, that's what he played.
Black has one.
Right.
This
How many of these people on KGS?
5, 6 down.
Start the cow.
You should know better.
5 down and 6 down.
Black doesn't really care.
All right, now this is
So you're saying
nice.
you wouldn't have
I
done
like
that one?
this.
Co threat.
You said there was something better than that one.
Or maybe he should block it on the side.
But black.
Alright,
I guess he doesn't want to go all in on the way
White,
up.
if
That's
white
fine.
lives and black takes that.
Now this was, I
Oh,
don't know.
because of that stone.
I didn't understand this at all. And I don't know if it's because it was a,
Didn't understand this white move?
yeah, this exchange.
Ah,
I was looking at various possibilities
black
for
is aiming at
white.
this.
Yeah, why doesn't white just play
White
this?
goes here, for instance, and black.
Because this, considering this shape over here, it seems like this is a good place to be looking under.
Here.
Is this Gote?
Well,
White only
Ah.
has 4
well,
liberties now.
no, because
Does black answer?
White, black.
I don't know. Does black want to seal this?
Does he have to?
He doesn't have to, but
Okay,
it kind of looks like he
Gote.
wanted to. No, yeah, it's Gote, it's Gote.
But if you do this, and black goes somewhere else,
Now,
and white follows up, it's like this was
Yeah.
a silly move.
yeah,
So this
okay,
is
okay.
this is a way to take sente.
This is the way to take Sente, but you've given up kind of both. Now black is sealed.
You still have some aji here. I mean,
There is aji.
There's a little bit, right?
Aji.
And the seal part is a legitimate concern. On the
Yeah.
other hand, you sort of knew that risk when you.
Yeah. The problem is having seen the rest of the game, I'm kind of like preemptively like, no, don't do that. Don't you know what's happening? Don't you know what's coming next?
But this is the meaning of it.
Yeah.
This is sente.
This is Sente.
This is not.
This is not.
Right.
Unless black is really gonna
Really, unless
want
it's really
that.
important for him to do that. But in this board, I don't know if it is.
Right.
I mean, I don't.
he can choose whatever he wants.
Right. I don't know if I mean, this is a really nice point. It
But
really,
this is-
But I'm safe on this side, and this side is kind of thickish. So maybe I'm gonna split.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, take more points. The turn is huge.
Woo! We
There's
love
so many
that
other
shit.
points here. I would
Yeah.
I would feel bad not taking sente.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, that's good. That's good. That is. I wasn't considering that.
I would say that if this was kind of questionable for white, this is kind of questionable for black. But
He can.
Okay. So this is where now the decision's going on. It's big. It makes sense. Sure. And now all
I
hell
think this is the bigger side.
breaks loose.
Makes up for this.
Yeah.
This is like
Yeah, you're right.
totally the larger
That's
side.
no potential left.
This is bigger. What is white?
Anyway.
I didn't think of that.
So they.
And that works better with what happens anyway because
What is your game, right?
this is nasty. This is just interesting, but over the top. 4, 5, 6. It's pretty crazy.
Yes, you can.
Do they have a credit card machine?
No, we don't, but you can do that by the website.
9,
Wow.
50.
White's gonna get cut off.
Is white gonna live? Is white gonna live?
Oh, you mean this whole
Can he
thing?
endure?
Can he endure? I know.
Yeah, he should be able to live. That's not
51. He covers his
nice
crap,
and patient.
right?
The players?
5, 6 down.
He plays this because he's like, haha, I'm not as weak as you think I am.
It makes black
Now,
make him
this is
try.
again.
That's a nice shape. That's a great thing to do.
This is a good shape, but this is,
Oh yeah, that
yeah.
makes sense. All right, see ya.
Again.
Homework this week.
This is the only homework this week, there's no other.
No, you now have to play a game. and find moves, go through one of your games from a few weeks ago, and find moves that surprise you.
My own games?
Yes.
Okay, I mean, I can look at stronger players' ones too.
No, well, you need to do that as well. That's
You do them both.
and again, the point is that you're not surprised because you have no idea what's going on. The point is that you're surprised because you think you know what's going on.
Okay. And
Misread or misjudge, like reading and judgment, the two
Yeah.
words. Yeah. Yep. Have fun.
I don't know if I'm just more timid, but again, white.
That seems fine. I think white really has to sort of do this. This is
57, and again, white is still not afraid.
of course he's not.
But
So this is something that I actually do understand.
Why does white choose the elephant eye?
Now you're kind of Irish.
yeah, that's why I was surprised at the
Oh, was this your game?
timing.
No.
No.
So when white played in here, why did he choose to make that shape and not like this or something?
So I can live if I play here now, right? If black connects, what? Yeah, this
59,
kind of makes
60.
sense.
But black doesn't have to connect now. Black's just gonna play here.
Oh yeah, you can do that first.
That's what he did? So white dies?
No, but it's not easy.
Pretty close to dead.
It's welcome back. Let me get the order here.
Isn't he gonna get one here and one here?
Not necessarily gonna get one there.
No, it's not the code yet.
You might have one here.
Oh, right.
This depends on the nature of things. There.
He saves
Should be
the
able to.
stone. He has to fix this cut. Now we push down here. 65.
Do we play Atari?
He ends up throwing in first.
Probably do.
Where I keep forgetting whether I'm odd or even here. Sorry. 65, 66,
If it's an even game, black is odd.
7. Right. I just keep forgetting which color I'm looking at. I'm like looking for 68 on the black stone. Throw in there 68. Take 69 is now. Oh, sorry, I didn't review this enough. 69 is on. Wait.
Harley,
Throw in. Take.
these
Oh,
are also yours.
oh, okay.
yeah, just have.
It's not you return auto graded ones. When I picked up
Aren't
that.
these also yours?
70,
Graded most of them
71,
unless you put a question mark on them.
72, 73. You shall not escape.
Yeah, they're a long time.
70.
Yeah, wow.
God, the shape is so weird. 74.
Oh no!
Yep.
Ah, the TI.
76. 77. 78. And
Of course.
go time.
I gave that a code too.
Wow. So black's already got a ton of profit on that attack, so
Yeah.
maybe white
So-
has a chance for 6.
So that's I did this underneath. I don't know. White just overestimated the prospects there.
Why is this not necessarily?
It's only one. There's no eye on this side of the
I
train.
think this one is also really slow. I think that
Yeah.
coming out here, that turn is really big.
Yeah.
So white plays here and black turned, right?
Was that the order 40? The turn came a bit later. The turn came actually just
Before.
just before the attack.
Which means this one for the
Yes. Yes, that's right. It was actually it was the turn and then that.
turn. Yikes.
That was really where it would seem like white was being way too fearless.
Especially because if white, plays the knight's move or something out here, this is thin enough, right? This is black's weak group.
Yeah.
It's the right focus.
And actually, what you're saying, playing on this side first before this exchange.
Right, is black in a hurry to play here?
No, and this seems to be looking better. If you want to, if you're worried about black sealing this off, this seems like
Yeah,
a better place to run to than
I think you
than
might be
that.
here, but yeah. Same.
Yeah. Well, this wasn't here, so it's a little bit easier. So now they play Ko, but that
Now
was
they play
kind of
Ko.
the.
Okay, but that was the nut of that one, huh?
That was the nut of that one, and
So the first surprising thing was this
just
development.
that development there. I mean, it's kind of the scale, like the minimum life kind of sized shapes that you see in the stronger games. You know, Q players make like half the board mine, half the board mine.
Right.
Pros make like 6 points, 6 points, 6 points, 6 points, 6 points.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
like
yeah.
every group is exactly big enough to live.
It's just what it needs to be.
And if there's room for more, they invade. And that's kind of those sorts of shapes. But it's still, especially in the opening, to pincer, just not where I think.
But it is.
And that was white got this.
White played here.
Actually, no, white at that point was white finished
like
this.
this. That's
So that wasn't quite as crazy.
Maybe. I feel like with all of the direction
But
being
considering-
this Chinese here,
Yeah, and this is so far away.
Yeah.
The approach here isn't that
an
scary.
approach is like,
You
okay,
got room.
I have to live, but
You can just like kick it and jump out.
I would pinch her from way away.
Oh.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Why way away?
Because I'm gonna end up making life here as slovenly as I can. So this is a little bit more.
More points if you can.
It's
Oh, it leaves
like I don't
less
want to picture
room.
something really aggressive because I'm not really in a position to be aggressive. But it's
That's
I don't
for
know. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do
So where
something
did he
simple.
go after he took that sente? That was the question. 37, 38,
Plays here.
39 to 40. Yeah, this was the weird move.
Well, because
Maybe that was the questionable one. Because he played the bump for sente, which is bad.
which
'cause
he
it
then used to
reinforces-
play here.
Which he then used to do this, which doesn't
Yeah. Again, I think at that point it's like what is that here?
come out here.
See, that's on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easier just to.
Oops. That way. That way. This way. This way.
Yep.
So right here,
Yeah. Yeah, take sente, jump
You're
there.
gonna do this.
or something else that forestalls things. Can I go farther? I'd love to go farther. If I can go farther.
Even playing up on this side seems.
Yeah, this seems crazy small.
Yeah, because this group is. This wasn't here yet. That
That's
was
not even
10,
there yet,
yeah.
huh?
Yeah, this group is.
Oh, if that's not even there
flaky
yet.
one.
Now I think this is here.
Yeah. Because if he starts running, then you can
Right.
take that. Okay, so that was the losing move. We got it.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Seems reasonable so far. Do you have another one?
No. Like I said, it took me like half an hour just to find one non-blitz game from these people.
That's pretty great.
The problem is because when you're looking at the people playing blitz, they're playing against people playing blitz. So
Right.
it's like if there are strong players not playing fast, I couldn't
Was it a useful exercise?
find them. Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
I find that I
This
tend
is
to
interesting.
remember more about what's going on than when I'm just passively looking at the board while somebody else is reviewing the game.
Actually, what's interesting is white ends up winning by resignation. Something goes terribly wrong for black.
Really? Something goes terribly wrong for black?
Yeah, where did that come up? Black ends up invading over here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it gets
white.
really weird.
What's the point here?
How did that go so wrong?
It seemed like black was pretty good.
No, black did have a very good position. This was really bad for white, and because of the ko, he had to live in ko. But it's one of those situations where the person who got the first big victory ends up just. The other person goes into try-hard mode, and they just can't keep up.
I didn't quite see what happened here, but that was so bad.
And why? Was there a mistake by white? It just didn't look quite as bad, like he was in such bad shape.
So he started.
This didn't happen yet, right?
Oh no! So yeah, that was first. Right? 41 came under,
42.
and then he hit the.
Oh, he hit
attach.
here. Yikes, that's hard.
Oh no! I'm sorry.
That's what I thought.
Bang, push,
Right.
block. White attaches here.
That's
Plays on top. He descends.
connect.
29.
connects.
Yep. He put
Jumps.
the jump.
Black is super happy to have solidified
51,
this.
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And this, again, this is in peril.
And then we do what, this now?
Sorry, where are we? 52? White, because white gets to Tanuki like a couple times. White plays this one, right? Was that
Black plays here.
sufficiently effective? Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I think black, of course, doesn't want to connect that
No.
stone because that's embarrassing.
And then jumps. Now the turn. And this is where, I'm like,
That's so much
do
moaning.
something. Do something, white. You've made a mistake. And white's like, nah, I better reduce it
Even
now.
just capturing here is, let's see here, because you're almost like contractually obligated to keep white divided, right?
But this is so eyeful now.
It's so eyeful, and you actually, I don't know, maybe you can't quite disconnect.
Why do you need to keep it separated? Isn't this going to be okay?
It's
I don't quite
just,
see why
It's
this is-
big. I
just
mean,
more
black
like-
can come
Yeah.
here next, right?
assuming he's not going to die elsewhere.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean next locally, not necessarily right
this is-
now.
What will happen with that move?
Well,
is a
I think
really
having a stone here, assuming white Tanuki, certainly helps.
No, white's next move is going to be in here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's see.
Something, I don't know.
But what
If I
happens if
can
white
threaten
comes
to
there
cut
after?
here, like so. If that
Well, this
threatens
is-
to
this
cut-
is
The
more
difference between
urgent.
this being black and white is very big. It's very easy for white,
Maybe there's nothing here.
and it leaves a lot of.
Because if black gets to
Reduction
play in
from-
here next, I don't see.
It's pretty much
What happens
all
if
the
white
points.
goes there? You're going to be able to live down here.
Yeah, he'll be able to live. That's right.
We'll be able to-
Just go.
And depending on how this is, you may.
Most
might-
importantly, the thing about this shape is white's been ripped, right?
Right. That's your basic.
And if white
space
responds,
jump.
then it's like it's a free sente
Cut.
move.
Right.
But like Andrew's saying, if if black is too weak up here, then this.
I don't know.
may
He might be able to
sure.
hold it all together. I think so. Maybe
Yeah.
not. Maybe it's fine.
You got this
We
turn.
get this one. We get this one. I
That's
think.
still pretty good.
Either way, if I take and white.
But this still looks
Black
better
turns here.
for white, considering this group is so much more stable.
Yeah. Instead, this is like a pass. Okay. So what happens? My curiosity is
long term. Oh gosh.
Longer term.
Well, let's go through the rest of this nonsense. Then.
So here.
Honey,
here.
60. All right, push. 2.
Push again.
63 connect. 64 with connect. 65 push. Block.
Throw in.
Throw in. Capture.
Honey.
Honey.
Honey. Block. Throw in.
You made this exchange up here.
That makes this exchange first.
Yeah.
Now, instead of doing the throw in and having white get in there, what if black just connects and says, "All right, make your tiny little eye"?
That's certainly reasonable.
Good.
I think black.
On KGS,
I mean, you're
I
gonna-
know that people get a lot of kill fever, but was
Yeah.
this a KGS game?
Yeah, but black doesn't stand to lose much in the co.
I suppose that's true.
I guess the assumption is, this, I can find a co-threat that's bigger than this corner.
How much is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think when you get a co, you take it because in this case, like you're risking a couple points,
Yeah.
and white's risking everything.
Yeah, exactly.
So like,
Black's not-
and with this formation, you're good for like at least 3 co-threats right off the bat, right?
Yep.
This is one of those other like things in the Joseki that you don't really think about, but like potential future co-threats. Definitely something that gets thought about.
By the way, is the Shape Up series behind the paywall?
Shouldn't be. I think it's available on the Korean.
I found a spot.
I found it. I found it
a
on.
paywall and I found the other one.
I
so
found it
can-
on
I can-
GoBase, but they
they have it on
make you.
GoBase?
They do, but they. But then
recording,
they.
dude.
Sorry. But then they say they want you to give them money in order to have them account, and then the web page suggests that there's somebody has to manually push buttons to give you that account, and that
It was just a
I
PDF
don't know
file.
if that person is actually still pushing the buttons.
You don't have a GoBase account?
I don't.
Oh, GoBase is great. It's super useful.
They close down registration unless you pay. Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah, I did.
But
that.
will they still
I
give you
started one in like 2001.
It was like $20 or something. They were like, just make a donation, 20 or $30. And I was like, for a lifetime thing, I'm like, for access to a searchable archive of pro games.
I got in while it was free.
All right.
So the question
I got
is,
in while I was
will they
employed.
still give you the account if you pay, or will they just take your
Probably.
money and not do anything?
Almost
they'll give you
certainly.
an
The
account.
site is still active. There, it's not like, it's
I
not
actually
abandoned.
sent Charles Matthews some emails about Shape Up.
So where's the free
Oh,
copy of
cool.
Shape Up?
I'll send it to you if you want.
81.
It took a little bit of Googling, maybe 10 minutes.
81 was this, first co-thread.
First go thread.
83.
I've got a flight tomorrow, so I'm looking for good reading material.
Ah, that's a good one.
86.
Do we push? Do we do this?
86 is at 80. Oh no, it's not your turn to take the go. What's going on? 84, yeah, push.
84.
85, 86, take the go. 87 is the next co-thread.
This one?
Natural. 87. 88, 89, take the go. 90.
Here's my next go thread right here.
Yep. 91. 92, take the co. 93,
Over
co on
there.
the inside.
Inside?
The corner side. 94.
Email?
Email?
I'm gonna have to edit that out.
Yeah, that's right. You're just saying that right next to a microphone.
Yeah.
It's on.
Oh, right.
That's okay, I'll edit it.
You'll edit it out. Okay.
Give him your password too. Credit card number.
Password is
So-
password 12345.
Hunter 2, obviously.
Swordfish.
Is that right?
Now I lost count. I was
Yeah.
having too much fun being silly.
He's gonna
Is that
have to
correct?
edit that too.
Is that correct?
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
92. Is that 80? That's a taking the thing. 93, 94, 95. Is the code 96? Okay, 96. I can count to 96. Where's 96? Where's your code thread?
Yeah. White play?
White's code thread. Oh, 96, of course.
Right, simple enough.
97, 98, play the local one. Don't know why I waited so long for that. 99, 100, take the co. Okay, fine.
Now I need some magic here.
Yeah. 1,
But White wins this game.
1 or 2. Yeah, eventually. Not because of this, though.
Who's playing this game?
Dr. Slip and Welvang.
Did we look at this one once before?
Could this
Not
be a
that I
co-threat?
remember. Yes, that is actually the next
I
co-thread.
feel like we
Good
looked at
eye.
this one.
Does it look familiar?
Yeah. White plays here now, right?
White takes.
Oh, I see. So he's
105.
giving up stuff down there.
Uh-huh.
And then fixes. So white gives up this
ton.
corner, yeah. Quite healthily.
Wow.
108. Black takes Gote though to finish
Amazing
that.
Gote.
Yeah, that was kind of surprising.
Okay.
Well, why did...
Maybe he thinks he got enough.
Yeah. And then white proceeds to 110. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like in a sea of stones that aren't on the board yet, so it's hard to.
Does Black invade? Is that what happens?
Tell you what, don't sweat it. Let's not.
Yeah, it's there.
Let's not do it.
Yeah, yeah. Then black invades.
Did you... How far did you look at?
I played through I clicked through the whole thing.
I just,
But I
I
haven't-
just
I
did the
haven't-
first 100 moves.
I haven't done it on the board manually. Since
So Drew,
there's
you're
stuff
going through
at the beginning.
Invincible. Is that what that is?
What software are you using to print out the games? Because
One of those
Go base again.
things that's in this.
KGS has this awful property where if you...
Download this.
Drago?
Use it for printing.
Drago?
It does the best diagrams.
Really?
It does the codes. It's
That's good. Yeah, these diagrams are awful. Every move that takes...
Is it better than my
you
prop
just
diagram?
have
Oh
to
my God.
infer.